87 325iS with a Zender Widebody Kit. It's not an E30 M3, just to make sure everybody knows that, and I'm not trying to make it look like one. When I got it, it had the wide body kit sort of on it. It had been painted already once. It was like a dark blue color, but it all needed to be redone. Other than it was an automatic, and it's got 67,000 original miles on it. I think it had like 55 when I bought it. And the guy had actually bought it, or he traded a Corvette for it, and then he couldn't get in and out of it anymore, so it just sat in his driveway from that point. I kind of stole the car. I've only paid $2,500 for an E30 with 50,000 miles on it, so. But it needed a lot of work. It was done, but it needed to all be redone. And like the suspension, the motor and all that, it was all stock. It was more just like a body kit for like a show car. Like it used to be on Air Ride and used to be a show car. I would always go to Beamer Fest East every time. Took it to New Jersey and Maryland for those. Won several awards with it at those shows. Once I put the turbo on it and built the motor, I kind of decided I wanted to just enjoy the car and drive it more and not worry about every little stone chip and rock and all that. So now I kind of changed everything to gear towards more abusing the car and having fun with it. I actually had another E30, and the guy who actually painted this car saw it sitting in somebody's driveway, and he told me about it, and I went to take a look at it, and the deal was way too good, so I ended up bringing it home. And my now current wife, of course, was not too happy about that, but she's dealt with a lot with this car, so definitely have to thank her for everything. Got a 3.1 liter Ireland Engineering Stroker Kit and the M20, pretty much everything you need to go along with that. ARP Bolts, MLS Headgasket, pretty much tried to make it bulletproof. All the fueling that it needs, a Walboro fuel pump, 600cc injectors. It's a KAMotors Sports Canyon Crusher Kit, and pretty much everything else you can do to it has been done. All the bushings have been replaced, sway bars, FX400, clutch in it, Driveshaft, shop driveshaft, PVM chassis mounted shifter, full 3-inch exhaust from the turbo back, a few other things I'm sure I'm forgetting, but every part on the car has been off and been either powder coated or replaced. Every bushing has been replaced. This is like the 5th stage of the build probably. No, it'll never be done really. I'd like to do the interior. That's one thing that hasn't. I mean, it's nice, but I would like to redo the interior, but I kind of have to decide what I want to do with the car. I'm at a point now where I kind of want to set it up more for whichever type of track I want to do with it, whether that be drag racing or drifting or autocross. So this year I plan on trying all of those and going from there, seeing which route I want to go. My dad got me into cars. He has a '66 Mustang, and we would go to car shows and stuff when I was younger, and I instantly fell in love with cars. He's one of the guys who likes to leave his car all original and always tells me not to mess with things and you should leave it how it was meant to be. My first car was actually a Fox body Mustang. As I said, my dad was into Mustangs, my whole family's into Mustangs. Then my buddy Mike Hosta actually took me for a ride in his I think it was an 87 325, and it had like 220,000 miles on it. And he's kind of crazy. He was sideways on the rev limiter the whole time, just beating the crap out of the car, and it just kept taking it. And after riding with him in there, I was like, I'm definitely buying one of these. And then I've had probably at least 15 E30s in the last 12 years. Now they're a little bit pricey, so I have one now. But ever since I drove an E30, that's pretty much all I've ever wanted. It's the best car to drive, I feel like. The car just feels amazing when you drive it. Even when they're stock, they're the most fun I've ever had. I still have a soft spot for Mustangs. My dad's 66 Mustang. I would like that car except to do what I would like to do with it, which is the complete opposite of what he would like to do with it. So that would be my number one thing. I feel like doing a resto mod on a 66 Mustang is my big dream to do one day. I keep saying it's not a show car, but like if you look under the hood, everything that I did, I've like made sure it looks as good as possible and I keep it as clean as possible. Now I would say I would rather track the car, have fun with it. Drag racing, autocross, track days, anything like that is what I enjoy more now than the car shows. So everything is kind of geared more towards that, but I try to keep it like as neat and nice as possible so that I can still attend car shows with it. I've done roll racing and drag racing this year, plan on doing autocross, and then Mike told me about it. Pit race would be the best place to do a drift day because there's not as many walls that you could possibly hit. I've done it in parking lots and stuff. I'd like to actually go do it somewhere where you're supposed to be doing it and see. I want to figure out what I enjoy the most, and that's the route I'll go with the car.